The Rex Baker North American Super 40 was created in partnership with the award's namesake, longtime GSCO member Rex Baker, to honor those individuals who'd surpassed the 29 species required for the North American Super Slam. The Super Slam is a lifetime achievement in itself, so you can imagine the dedication and sacrifice one must make to obtain 40 different big game species in North America. Well, tonight, we'd like to honor a few hunters who've achieved the Rex Baker North American Super 40. Ohio's Brad Black took an Aldad in New Mexico in 2008 as one of the steps toward his Baker Super 40. Then, in 2009, Brad took an Arctic Island caribou. In South Baja in 2020, Brad got his Baja black-tailed deer. During 2025, on a trip to Mexico, Brad was successful in taking both the red brocket deer and the gray-brown brocket deer to complete his Baker Super 40. It was an Arctic Island caribou from Nunavut taken in September 2025 that earned Rusty Brines of California the Baker Super 40. Next up, you see Rusty with his gray-brown brocket deer that was taken in 2015. The following year, Rusty hunted on Vancouver Island, BC, to get his coastal black bear, and in February 2024, he traveled back to Mexico and was able to collect his red brocket deer. We'll finish up by showing you Rusty's Baja blacktail, which he took in February 2025. Jeff Demoski of Colorado has done a lot of hunting in his life, and we're pleased to now recognize him for his Baker Super 40. He hunted in South Baja, Mexico back in 2019 to get his Baja blacktail. And in 2023, Jeff traveled to the frozen tundra to get his barren ground grizzly. The Atlantic walrus was next for Jeff, and he took it in 2024. In 2025, Jeff made his way down to Florida, where he added the alligator to his list, and he reached number 40 in October 2025 after taking his Arctic Island caribou. Our next Baker Super 40 recipient is William Falchek of New York. A couple of the trophies William took along the way to that milestone include his Canadian lynx from British Columbia in 1996 and his Atlantic walrus from Nunavut in 2001. Among William's other Baker 40 trophies are his desert mule deer from 1998, his Aldad from Texas in 2022, and his Wolverine from Nunavut in December 2023. Jim Castellude of Michigan took his 40th trophy, a Canadian lynx, in British Columbia in December 2024. Another of his Canadian trophies is his wolf, taken in Alberta in 2018. During 2021, Jim hunted in Texas for his Aldad and in Nunavut for a barren ground grizzly bear. Jim was back in Nunavut in 2022, where he got the Atlantic walrus that you see here. Darren Millman of Ohio is receiving multiple awards at this year's convention. For his Baker Super 40 recognition, we've chosen to show you first his Wolverine that he took in 2002. Next, you see Darren's wolf from 2004 and his desert mule deer that he took in 2016. And we'll finish with Darren's Greenland muskox and American alligator, both taken in 2025. Eduardo Negrete of Mexico completed his Baker Super 40 with a Wolverine in 2024. In 2008, Eduardo took his gray wolf from British Columbia. In his home country of Mexico, he took a gray-brown brocket deer in 2012. In 2017, he traveled to Newfoundland to get his Eastern Canada moose, and we'll finish by showing you Eduardo's Canada lynx that he took in November 2023. Michigan's Tom Niederer finished his Baker Super 40 in March 2025 by taking a red brocket deer in Mexico. Along the way toward that milestone, Tom also took the gray-brown brocket deer variety and an American alligator in Florida. We'll finish with Tom's Baja blacktail, taken in South Baja in 2024, and his Arctic Island caribou, taken way back in 2012. Douglas Wilson of Ohio took a one-antlered Western Canada moose to complete his Baker Super 40 in November 2025. Some of Douglas's earlier trophies include his Atlantic walrus from Nunavut in 2023, his Florida alligator in 2024, and his gray-brown brocket deer and his Baja blacktail, both taken in Mexico in 2025. This concludes our Rex Baker Super 40 presentation for this year. Let's give these accomplished hunters one more round of applause. "2026 marks the inaugural class for the Rex Baker North American Super 50 recipients, and we have 3 inductees. It's appropriate that the first person to be recognized for the Rex Baker Super 50 is its namesake, Rex Baker of Georgia. Rex took a Baja Blacktail in Mexico in February 2025, which you saw earlier. He traveled to Canada in 2021 to get his lynx, and Rex got his coastal black bear in Alaska back in 2004. Rex traveled to Mexico in 2007 for his gray-brown Brocket deer, and the final trophy we'll share is his bobcat from 2002. Charles Heron of Alabama finished his Baker Super 50 with a Columbia white-tailed deer from Oregon in October 2025. Charles took his Mexican Desert Bighorn of the Cremnibontes species in January 2024 and got his Baja Blacktail that same month. Charles' Florida Alligator was taken in October 2024, and finally we have his Canadian Lynx from BC taken in November 2024. Jay Link of Wisconsin is our next Baker Super 50 recipient to recognize, and we have a few of his deer and 1 bobcat to share. First, we have Jay's Columbia white-tailed deer from Oregon. Moving along, Jay hunted in South Baja, Mexico to get his Baja black-tailed deer, and he traveled to Quebec where he was successful in taking Anacostia Island whitetail. Next up, you see Jay with his Mexican whitetail, and we'll finish by showing you one of Jay's many bobcats he's taken over the years. Along the way to his Baker Super 50, Michigan's Tim Salisbury took both an Arctic Highland caribou and a Florida alligator in 2007. Next, we see Tim's barren ground grizzly bear from the Northwest Territories in 2018. A year earlier, Tim was in Quebec for his Anacostia white-tailed deer, and we'll finish with Tim's Baja black-tailed deer from Mexico, taken in February 2024. This concludes our Rex Baker Super 50 presentation for this year. Let's give these accomplished hunters one more round of applause.